Hello, it's Oski K here, and recently I hit 100 subscribers, and I said I'd do a Q&A for my 100 subscriber special, so this is the Q&A. First of all, I'd like to give a very big thank you to anyone who has liked, subscribed, commented, or watched any of my videos over the past year. I've been running this YouTube channel. I'm very grateful for all of you. So should we start the Q&A? Okay, so first question from Level Crossing Land. He asked me, what is my favorite level crossing? Probably, it's a bit of a hard question. There's so many level crossings, obviously, but probably the one at Sutton Station. I really, really like that one. I believe it's XQ002. I might be wrong about that. But yeah, I just really like it because it's got the old signal cabin, and it's also like right next to the station, and it's on pretty busy roads. So I like how the cars all line up for it. I like how it looks as well. Next question from Train Spotting's NI. What's my favorite station in Ireland? It would obviously have to be Foxford. I just love it. It is such a nice mix of like old and new stuff. It has some garden baskets, a lovely station house next to it. It's just lovely. If you haven't watched the Foxford video, why haven't you? It's up there right now for you to watch, and it's probably my best video ever, so I definitely give it a watch. Next question from Irish Transport Photography. If Northern Ireland were to uh, overhaul all their rolling stock, what train would I save? And obviously it would have to be my favourite, which is the 29,000 class. I just love how they are at the moment. I love how they are just I love the colour scheme. I love the livery and all the seating, the design of them. I just love how they look, and I love calf trains in general. I think calf trains are really good. Next question from JG Trains. He asked me, what do I think of clogged? So if you don't know, clogged is the Irish word for helmet. So, helmet, very hard thing, so you don't bang your head on something if you're building something or riding a bike. So what I would use it for is a situation where I might use like clonk, because it's a very like onomatopoeic word. I really like it. I just think it's great. That's also in the Irish language. It's a great word. I do like it very much. I got 3 questions from Ireland Spotter. The first one being, what's my favourite dart type, including the A200 class. The A200 class is the only dart to be retired so far. The A100s will be going soon, very sadly. But yeah, my favourite dart train would definitely have to be the 8100s, just because I love the front of them. I love the interior. I love how the doors are like on the outside, but they're kind of like, they don't open out. They just it's and I love just the design of them in general. I love when they just go around the corner, or the screech of them, and yeah, I'm gonna really miss them when they're gone. Next question, Aaron Spotter again. What's my favourite bridge over the River Liffey in the city centre of Dublin? It would definitely have to be Grotton Bridge, because first of all, it's not a new modern metal bridge that's just made to impress, and just they all look the same. It's also not an old one that's just made of like concrete, and it just looks like all the rest. It's green. I think it's metal anyway. It's lovely. I really, really like it, and I really enjoy going past it and going over it. That's my opinion. Irish Transport Guys Shed, again from Iron Spotter. Irish Transport Guys Shed, I haven't seen it personally, but I have seen pictures of it, and I think for a shed it's quite dull. I'm not sure what material it's made of, but it's grey, and I don't really like grey sheds. Personally, if I were to get a shed, it would be more of a characteristic colour. But I believe it works well in the snow. Like, we had snow a couple of weeks ago. None of the stuff contained in Irish Transport Guys Shed got destroyed, as far as I'm aware. So yeah, I would maybe give it a 7 out of 10, maybe a 6, just because it's a bit dull. But yeah. Next question, a little bit 64 asks, what's my favourite era of Irish railways, which is a great question. So it depends what you define as an era. What I would define as era is kind of like 5-year bits, because that's kind of how fast the railway is changing. So probably from 2005 to 2010, because it's when there's like the most variety of rolling stock. So the 2700s were still in service, the Mark 3s were still in service until 2008. The 8200s were still in service. A lot of other trains that are now not in service were still in service. But then also we had the 29,000 class, we had the 2600, the 2800. We also started to get in the 22,000 classes, which means we had a lot of variety fleet wise, and I just like variety myself because it's just great. And probably the main reason why is because we had the 2800 class here on the Russell Airline, which I think suits the Russell Airline the most, because I really like the 2800s. I really like the Russell Airline. I'm not biased maybe, but it's a really good line. But yeah, I think that's the main reason why the late noughties are probably my favourite era of Irish Railways. Now, from Ben from Dublin, he asked me, am I... So, a better question from Irish Transport Guy, what toaster do I own? So, I believe it's the Kenwood Elegancy, I believe it's called. TFP10 is what I have written down here. But yeah, we can have probably some clips of it here. It's a good toaster. We've only had it for a few months. It works. My only complaint would be it's only got 6 settings for your, like, how far you want your bread to be toasted. So I would rather 10 just for peace of mind, even though it might not be as accurate. But that's probably my only complaint with it. It works well. Another question for Irish Transport Guy: have I ever used the Pierce toilets? And in fact, I have. They're terrible, if I'm honest. Only one of the urinals work, only one of the sinks work, and the 2 stalls are so graffitied. Now, I'm not sure if it's the same over on the women's side, but I wouldn't assume it. Like, I wouldn't say it's so much better. You know, I don't think it's... They're not great. I rather Connolly toilets, and that's a lot to say. And final question from Elizabeth64. He asked me what's my favourite type of paper, and I have to say I really like just an A4 sheet, a plain A4 sheet, not in like a notebook or anything, just like in a ream, like printer paper. I just like them. I'm really good for drawing stuff on, really good for transport. You can just fold it up, you can just bring it anywhere. It's also like, it's a kind of standard size for everything, so it's going to fit into most folders you'll have. Yeah, that's a really boring answer, but yeah, that's my favorite type of paper. And that's all the questions for my Q&A. Again, thank you very much to anyone who subscribed, liked, commented, watched my videos for the last year I've been making them. Thank you very much for subscribers, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.